for those salespeople that want to continue doing business the old way, they're gradually going to be marginalised.
I've got Graham Hawkins with me again. Welcome back, Graham.
Thanks, John. Good to be here.
Hey, Graham, you've written a great book. That's one of the reasons we're together talking. Sales Transformation, you title it.
Yes.
And you talk about some controversial things that are happening in the marketplace that most sales organisations are not responding to. Mm-hmm. And you say they need to transform quite radically if they're going to survive in the future.
Correct.
Tell me why.
Yeah, look, it's interesting, John. I've been in sales for 27 years, sales leadership role, but I've never seen in my career the amount of change that we're witnessing right now, and the sort of change that you've been talking about with your masterminds. The sort of things that we're talking about are the new buying journey, the way buyers create and come to market with opportunities. More importantly, we've gone from what I call vendor push models to customer pull. And
yet a lot of vendors are still trying to push, right?
Correct. A lot of those old methodologies and the old approach to selling still persist today. So where I'm getting to with the book is that because of the way buyers are changing the way they buy, salespeople must adapt and must adapt pretty quickly. So when you think about things like the pressure on customers to do more business with less vendors, when you look at the maturity of the market, particularly in the high-tech space, which is where I'm from, mature markets' common traits always are based around things like high levels of competition, low barriers to entry.
Commodity-based products.
Commodity products, yep, downward pressure on pricing. But most importantly, in mature markets, you have highly educated and sophisticated customers. Everyone keeps saying it. Today's customers and buyers have more access to more information than at any time in the past. So what does that mean? Well, it means that salespeople have to lift their game and they have to transform the way they go to market.
So it's more than just lift the game, surely. I mean, from what you're saying and what I read in the book, it's actually changed the game, changed totally the way you think about how you work with customers and how you go through the sales processes and so on. True?
Yeah, correct. Look, if you read some of the analysts like Forrester, they're saying that by 2020, a quarter of the salespeople currently in B2B sales roles today will be redundant. And when you look at artificial intelligence, robotics, machine learning, all the technology enablers, we're seeing a totally different way of selling these days based on the way buyers want to buy. So you're right, salespeople must transform. They must become much more sophisticated.
Now, can salespeople do that on their own? They really need the organisation to put the new processes, the new thinking together and transform as an organisation the way they interact with customers, the way they work in the sales process.
Correct, yep.
Okay, so transformation is going to be a big topic over the next decade or so, maybe even in a shorter period.
Absolutely.
So what does it mean? Transformation, how do we transform? It's a big subject, isn't it?
It's a huge subject. I think if you go back to the basics, salespeople and sales leaders have to stop tracking the sales cycle and start tracking the buying journey. You've got to understand what the customers want in terms of buyers, understanding that they're under pressure to do more business with less vendors, and really start to understand how the customer needs to buy your product. And that's where it all starts. And for those salespeople that want to continue doing business the old way, they're gradually going to be marginalised.
Yeah, and the customers won't see them bringing any value to the table. They can find a product or a service or whatever without having a salesperson involved.
Correct.
Okay. Graham, I'd like to talk much more about the transformation that we need to go through in each area that we need to address. So would you come back and talk more with us?
Happy to, yeah.
Look forward to it.
Thanks, John.